Alright, so I saw this article on VideoGamesChronicle.com. EA CEO tells staff it's been impeded by the FIFA brands. 4 letters on the box. Basically, the CEO, Andrew Wilson, claimed in an internal meeting that FIFA is holding back the football series. He believes that the company would be better off ending its 30-year relationship with FIFA. Basically, he said that FIFA has precluded EA from expanding its games into modes beyond traditional 11v11 or broader digital ecosystems. We don't need more monetization, motherfucker, but okay. But anyway, they had a little back and forth when EA last year had talked about. They decided to make public that they were considering ending their relationship with the footballing body. According to the New York Times report published the same month, negotiations between to stalled due to EA's desire for more rights and FIFA's alleged demand for EA to double its payment for the license to $2.5 billion over the next decade. That's $250 million a year for the FIFA name, for the FIFA rights. Now, that means that it's $125 million a year now. Now, there's looking at Reddit, and this guy here was, talking about this in the thread talking about this story. FIFA wants $250 million per year for the FIFA branding, which only gives them the World Cup license. Even then they could, because he suggests they could add a generic World Cup called the Nations Cup or something that would be essentially the same thing. However, here's the important part. For context, GTA 5's budget was $265 million. The NBA license cost 2K $150 million per year, which is one of the reasons why FIFA is, wanting more money, because they're wanting $250 million a year, which means they're paying $125 million a year for the license right now. That's less than the NBA license that 2K is paying for. So it's like, now of course somebody says, because the guy says that they would be stupid if they renew with FIFA. They said, what do they do? It really depends on how much the players really are tied into the FIFA name. Will people buy EA Sports FC 2022, or will they buy Lego FIFA instead? Just use the Lego as an example. The thing is, it's hard to say for sure. I think most of the stuff would be unaffected for the most part, because they could still have their I'm trying to think of what they call their little card game thing when they buy it. But anyway, when you pay them money for all that shit and stuff. I don't know why people do that stuff, so I can't really speak to as whether I think it'll, transition over, stick over if they don't renew the license. I think they would be better off not renewing the license though, just because it's like, that's a lot of money, and if they're wanting to double the payment, that's like a shakedown kind of situation. It's like, God damn, dude. You're wanting to double it, and I'm not talking about doubling it from, hey, you're paying me $20 for this, pay me $40. No, $125 million to $250 million. It's like, holy shit. Now, they said here later in the story, VGC understands EA is currently planning to release this year's game as FIFA 23 and include 2 FIFA World Cup tournaments, the men's and the women's events, for the first time. It's hard to say what'll happen. I'm not a big FIFA guy. I'm not a big soccer guy. So basically, this is more like comments we talking about the Andrew Wilson CEO. Basically, what we get from FIFA in the non-World Cup year is the 4 letters on the front of the box. In a world where most people don't even see the box anymore because they buy the game digitally. In the World Cup year, of course, we get access to the World Cup. But in the broader context of global football on an annualized basis, the World Cup is important, but it's not the most important. We have 300 other licenses that give us the content that our players engage with the most and the most deeply. There's a screen of it. I think EA's more right. I know a lot of times EA gets shit, and they should. So should a lot of other companies, by the way. But I think in this case, I'm a little more apt to believe or be on their side, because that's a lot of money that you're paying just for the FIFA license every, couple years. It's like, shit. But, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I'll go ahead and wrap this up here. God damn, I didn't know I already went 4.5 minutes. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.